Hello, and welcome to the VUS Learning English podcast. I'm Anna, and I'm very happy you're here today. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been reading a book, turned the page, and suddenly realized you don't remember a single thing you just read? Maybe your eyes were moving across the words. Maybe you even finished the whole page, but your mind was somewhere else. And then you stop and think, wait, what did I just read? Maybe you were thinking about your family, or your work, or what to eat for dinner. You read a whole page, but you don't remember anything. Does this feel familiar? Or maybe this has happened to you. You are reading a book for school or for work. It's an important book. You have a pen. You highlight the important sentences, you read a chapter, and you highlight so many things. Yellow, pink, blue. The page is full of color. You think, great, I am learning. But later, when you look at the page, you don't remember why you highlighted those sentences. You don't remember the ideas. It feels like you did a lot of work but learned nothing. This feeling is so hard. It can make you feel sad. It can make you feel not smart. You see other people reading big, difficult books. They talk about these books. They seem to understand everything, and you think, why can't I do that? Maybe I'm just not a good reader. Maybe my English is not good enough. Maybe I'm not smart enough. If you have ever felt this way, I want you to listen to me very closely. I have some very, very good news for you. You are not alone. So many people feel this way. I have felt this way many times. And here's the most important part. It is not your fault. Let me say that again. That feeling is not your fault. It does not mean you are not smart. It does not mean you are a bad reader. It means something else. It means you were taught how to say the words, but maybe no one ever taught you how to understand the ideas. For many years in school, we learned to read words. We learned the alphabet, A, B, C. We learned the sounds. We learned to put the sounds together to make a word. This is very important. It is the first step, but it is only the first step. Reading is like music. In school, we learn the notes. But no one teaches us how to play a beautiful song. We are given a book. The teacher says, read this book. And we are expected to just understand it. But understanding a difficult book is not magic. It is a skill. And like any skill, you can learn it. I can learn it, and you can learn it. Today in this episode, we are going to talk about how we will learn a simple way to read, a way to understand better, a way to feel more confident. We will talk about two important skills. The first skill is about understanding the small parts of a book, the words. The second skill is about understanding the big picture, how the ideas connect together. By the end of our time together today, you will have a plan, a new way to read any book you want, a way that is not scary, a way that is interesting and fun. Are you ready? Let's begin. So let's talk about this problem. Why does reading feel so hard sometimes? Why do we feel lost? I think part of the problem is our idea about reading. We think reading should be easy and quiet. We open a book. We look at the words, and the understanding should just come to us like magic. But it's not like that. Reading is work. It's active. Your brain is working hard. When you read a new idea, your brain has to build a new connection. It's like building a small bridge in your mind. And building is not an easy job. So when a book feels difficult, when you feel a little confused, that feeling is not a bad sign. It's a good sign. It's a sign that your brain is working. Your brain is building those new bridges. It's growing stronger. But for a long time, I did not know this. When I was a student, I had to read a lot of books, and some of them were very, very difficult. I remember one book in particular. It was about history. The sentences were so long. The words were so big. I would read one page and it felt like 1 hour. I would get to the bottom of the page and I had no idea what I read. I felt so stupid. I looked at my classmates. They all looked so smart. They were taking notes. They were nodding their heads, and I thought, am I the only one who doesn't understand? Is there something wrong with me? This feeling was so heavy. It made me want to close the book and never open it again. Have you ever felt that way? But something interesting happened. One day I was in the library. I was feeling very sad about this book. My teacher saw me. She was a very kind woman. She came and sat next to me. She said, "Anna, you look worried. What's wrong?" I was afraid to tell her the truth. I was afraid she would think I was a bad student. But I was so tired of feeling this way. So I told her. I said, "I don't understand this book. I try and I try, but the words don't make sense." My teacher looked at me, and she smiled. A very kind smile. She said, "Anna, that's normal. This is a difficult book." And then she said something that changed everything for me. She said, "You are trying to read this book like a story, but it's not a story, it's a puzzle." A puzzle. She told me that my problem was not that I was stupid. The problem was my method, my way of reading. She explained that in school, we learned to read storybooks. The cat sat on the mat. Simple, easy to understand. But then we get older, and we have to read books with big ideas. Books about science, or history, or philosophy. And we try to read these books in the same way. We try to read them fast. We expect to understand everything on the first try. She said, "That is like trying to eat a whole pizza in one bite. You can't do it. You have to eat it one slice at a time. And maybe one bite at a time." This idea was a big surprise to me. I thought good readers were just fast readers. But she told me that good readers are not always fast. Good readers are careful. They are active. They have a plan. This is the real problem for many of us. School taught us to find answers quickly. The teacher asks a question. What year did this happen? What is the name of this character? We learn to scan the page. We look for a name or a number. We find it. We say it. We get a good grade. We learn the game of school, but we don't learn the skill of deep reading. We don't learn how to sit with an idea, how to ask questions about it, how to connect it to our own lives. And this creates a cycle, a circle of feeling bad. It goes like this. First, we pick up a difficult book. We are excited to learn. Second, we start reading, and it's hard. The words are new. The ideas are complex. Third, we feel confused and frustrated. We think, this is too hard for me. Fourth, we close the book, and we think the problem is us. We think, I am just not smart enough. And then we are afraid to try again. Does this sound like your life? It was my life for a long time. But I am here to tell you, we can break this cycle. The problem is not your intelligence. It is not how smart you are. It is a gap in your skills. It's a missing tool in your toolbox. And today, we are going to add 2 new tools to your toolbox. 2 new skills. And these skills are very simple, but very powerful. Let's start with the first one. The first skill is about understanding the bricks. Imagine you are building a house. What do you need? You need bricks. A lot of them. If you don't have bricks, you can't build a house. In reading, the words are the bricks. Each word is a small piece of the whole idea. If you don't understand the words, you can't understand the sentence. If you can't understand the sentences, you can't understand the paragraph. And if you can't understand the paragraphs, you can't understand the book. This is the first and most common problem. You are reading a sentence, and there is one word you don't know. It's a big word, or a strange word. A word you don't use in everyday conversation, like philosophy, or economy, or democracy. These words are not just words, they are containers. They hold a lot of meaning. If you don't know what is inside the container, the whole sentence becomes confusing. It becomes like fog. You can't see clearly. What does a passive reader do? A passive reader, the reader I used to be, sees a difficult word and gets scared. They might skip it. They hope it's not important. They just keep reading, feeling more and more confused, or they just give up. They close the book. But an active reader is different. An active reader sees a new word and thinks, "Oh, interesting." An active reader sees a new word as an opportunity to learn something new, an opportunity to get a new brick for their house. Every new word you learn is a new tool. It makes every future book you read a little bit easier. It's an investment in yourself. You are building your knowledge bank. You are making your mind richer. So, how do we do this? How do we actively learn new words when we read? I have a very simple exercise for you. It might feel slow at first, but I promise you it works. Here's the plan. First, I want you to choose one small piece of text, not a whole book, not a whole chapter, just one paragraph. Maybe a paragraph from a news article or a book you want to read. Find a paragraph that feels a little difficult for you. Just one. Second, I want you to read that paragraph one time. Just read it. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Third, now we do the important work. Read it again, but this time with a pen or with a notebook. And every time you see a word or a short phrase that you are not 100% sure about, I want you to circle it or write it down. Be very honest with yourself. Sometimes we see a word and we think, I think I know what that means. But I think I know is not the same as I know. If it's even a little bit foggy, a little bit unclear, circle it. Write it down. This is not a test. No one is watching you. This is for you. Fourth, now you have a list of words. Maybe it's one word. Maybe it's 5 words. It doesn't matter. Now you become a detective. Your job is to find the meaning of these words. You can use a dictionary. You can use an online translator. But here's a very important tip. Don't look for a long, complicated definition. That will only make you more confused. Look for a simple, clear definition. Just enough to understand the word in this sentence. Let's imagine the word is enormous. The sentence is, the elephant was enormous. You look up enormous. The dictionary might say, extremely large, immense. Maybe immense is another new word for you. That's not helpful. So look for a simpler meaning. Enormous means very, very big. That's easy. Write that down. Next to the word, write very, very big. You can write it in English, or you can write it in your own language. Whatever helps you remember. Fifth, now you go back to the paragraph. You have your new definitions. You are like a builder with new, stronger bricks. Read the paragraph again. But this time, when you see your circled word, use your new simple definition. So instead of, the elephant was enormous, you read, the elephant was very, very big. Does it feel different? It should feel clearer. The fog should start to go away. And now for the final, most important step. This is the step that most people skip. But this is the step that makes all the difference. After you read the paragraph and you understand all the words, I want you to put the book down and I want you to try to say the main idea of the paragraph in your own words, out loud, to yourself, or write it down in your notebook, in very simple sentences. This is called paraphrasing, and it is a superpower because it forces your brain to really process the information. It's not enough to just see the words, you have to digest them. You have to make the idea your own. If you can explain the idea simply, it means you truly understand it. If you can't explain it simply, it means you are not there yet, and that's okay. You can go back, read it again, think about it more. This process feels slow. I know. When my teacher first told me to do this, I thought, this will take forever. I will never finish the book. But she told me something I will never forget. She said, Anna, you are not just reading the book. You are building your mind. Is it better to read 100 books and understand nothing? Or is it better to read one book or even one chapter and truly understand it? That understanding will stay with you forever. A few minutes spent on one difficult paragraph. That is not wasted time. That is an investment that will pay you back for the rest of your life. That is how you build the first skill. That is how you understand the words. You do it slowly, patiently, and with kindness for yourself. But this is only the first half of the story. Remember my teacher's idea? Reading is a puzzle. Understanding the words is like finding all the pieces of the puzzle. You have all the pieces in front of you, that's great. But now you have a new job. You have to put the pieces together. You have to see how they connect to make a picture. This brings us to our second skill. The second skill is about seeing the connections. It's about seeing how the author builds their idea. If the first skill is about the bricks, this second skill is about seeing the house. It's about understanding the plan. How does one sentence connect to the next sentence? How does one paragraph connect to the next paragraph? This skill is about understanding the flow, the logic, the story of the idea. This is where many readers get lost, even if they know all the words. You can read a paragraph, you understand every single word, but at the end you think, okay, so what? What was the point? Was that sentence an example? Was it the main idea? Was it a reason for something? If you can't see these connections, a book can feel like just a long list of facts. Fact number 1, fact number 2, fact number 3. It's boring and it's hard to remember. But a good writer doesn't just give you a list of facts. A good writer takes you on a journey. They guide your thinking, and they use special words to show you the way. These words are like glue. They hold the sentences together. They show the relationship between ideas. And here's the surprising part. These words are often very small, very simple words. Words you already know. Words like and, but, so, because, however, therefore. A passive reader's eyes just fly over these words. They don't seem important. But an active reader knows a secret. These small words are road signs. They are clues. They tell you where the author's idea is going. Let's think about it. What does "and" tell you? And means here's more of the same. I am happy and I am excited. The idea is continuing. What does "but" tell you? But tells you to get ready for a change. A contrast. An opposite idea is coming. I am happy, but I am also a little bit nervous. The idea is turning. What does "because" tell you? Because tells you the reason why. It answers the question, why? I am happy because you are here. This is the reason for my happiness. What does "so" tell you? So tells you the result, the consequence. It is raining, so I will take an umbrella. The rain is the cause. The umbrella is the result. These little words are so powerful. Learning to see them and to understand what they are doing is like getting a map of the author's brain. You are not just reading their words. You are following their thoughts. There's a lot of research on this. Studies show that when students learn to find these connections, their understanding gets much, much better. It helps them build a mental map of the text. So, how can you practice this second skill? Let's go back to our one difficult paragraph, the one from before. You already did the first step. You understand the words. The bricks are on the table. Now let's build the house. First, read the paragraph again. But this time, you are not looking for difficult words. You are looking for the small connecting words. With your pen, I want you to circle the ands, the buts, the so's, the becauses, all the little signpost words. Second, for each word you circle, ask yourself, what is this word doing here? Is it adding a new idea? Is it showing a contrast? Is it giving a reason? Is it showing a result? You can even write a little note as the margin. And equals adding, but equals changing direction. Finally, try to trace the journey of the paragraph, sentence by sentence. Ask yourself, what is the author doing in this sentence? And how does it connect to the sentence before? Are they giving the main idea? Are they giving an example of that idea? Are they adding more information? Are they asking a question? You can even draw little arrows between the sentences to show the flow. This sentence connects to this one. This idea leads to that one. When you do this, something amazing happens. The paragraph stops being a block of text, a wall of words, and it becomes a living thing, a moving argument, a dance of ideas. You start to see the hidden structure, the bones of the paragraph. You are not just a passive person watching from the outside. You are an active participant. You are thinking with the author. You are retracing their steps. Again, does this feel slow? Yes. At first it will, but with practice, something magical starts to happen. You will start to do it automatically. Your brain will learn to see these connections without you even trying. You will pick up any book and you will just naturally start to see the structure. You will see the bricks and you will see the house. You will understand the words and you will understand the argument. That is building the second skill. That is seeing the connections. So we have our two new tools for our toolbox. Tool number 1, understand the words, the bricks. Tool number 2, see the connections, the house. Learning to use these two tools is the most important step. But real change, real improvement comes from practice. It's like learning to play the guitar. I can tell you where to put your fingers. I can explain the theory of music. but you will never make beautiful music until you pick up the guitar and practice, day after day, even for just 5 minutes. It's about building a new habit, a new routine, a new way of reading, a way that is slow and careful and active. If you have found this conversation helpful, if these ideas feel useful for you, then please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and press the like button. It's a very simple action for you, but it tells the YouTube system that this is a valuable video, and it helps other people find this message. Other people who are feeling that same frustration, that same feeling of, I'm not smart enough. You can help us reach them. You can be part of our mission to help English learners feel confident and happy. That feeling that you can't understand books, I want to say this one more time. It is not about your intelligence. It is the ghost of your old education, an education that taught you how to make the sounds of words, but did not teach you how to build a world of meaning from them. It's the result of being told, read this, without ever being shown how to read. Difficult books are not supposed to be easy. Let me say that again. Challenging books are supposed to feel challenging. If a book feels a little bit hard, if it makes you think, if it makes your brain feel a little tired, that is a good thing. That is the feeling of growth. It is a sign that the book is stretching your mind. It is helping you build new connections, new bridges. You are becoming a stronger thinker. So by focusing on these two skills, understanding the words and seeing the connections, you can change your relationship with reading. You can turn that feeling of frustration into a feeling of excitement. You can turn struggle into growth. Start small. Don't try to change everything in one day. I want you to pick one book, a book that has been sitting on your shelf, a book that feels a little scary, a little intimidating. Don't promise yourself you will finish the book. That's too much pressure. Just make a very small promise to yourself. Promise yourself you will read just one paragraph, one single paragraph, using our new method, our 2-pass method. The first pass is the words pass. Read the paragraph. Find the words you don't know. Find their simple meanings. Understand the bricks. The second pass is the connections pass. Read that same paragraph again. Find the connecting words. Trace the logic. Understand the house. And then see what happens. Notice how you feel. Do you feel a little more confident? Do you feel a little clearer? I think you will. Reading is not a passive activity. It is not just taking in information. It is a conversation, an active, dynamic conversation between you and the author. The author is sharing their ideas with you, and you are listening, asking questions, and building understanding in your own mind. And with the right skills, with the right tools in your toolbox, this is a conversation that you are 100% capable of having. You have everything you need to start. You have the curiosity. You have the desire to learn. And now you have a plan. The only thing left to do is to practice. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It was a real joy to talk with you. Remember to be kind to yourself on your learning journey. Progress takes time. There will be good days and bad days. And that's okay. Just keep going. One word at a time. One sentence at a time. One paragraph at a time. What did you think of today's topic? Have you ever felt this way about reading? Do you have any tips that help you understand difficult books? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I love learning from you, and your story might be the one thing that helps another listener today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care, my friend. Keep going. See you next time.